From about 1950s, the government of the day introduced a series of public information films. And these films, only short films, they were sort of designed to kind of shock you into driving better. Whether they did that or not, I'm not quite sure. Now, very luckily, we're able to show you about a dozen or so of these in our series. So we'll just show you this one first before this main feature comes up. And as I said, it really is quite shocking. See what you think.
If a man with dangerous animals to feed went about it like this, you would not be surprised at the results. Then why on earth, when it's foggy, do you drive down the motorway like this, straight into situations you can't see? After all, it may not be just your neck.
In those nature reserves, which we call motorways, may be found the motorway sign, usually near the entrance. It remains calm and undisturbed by the traffic unless it is approached in the wrong sort of vehicle. Other forms of forbidden behavior can also provoke a hostile reaction. The rules which apply in the motorway reserves can be found in the highway code.
Whenever I step into my car, the strangest thing happens. I turn into a sort of big lizard.
You, sir, have turned into a dinosaur.
Oh, perhaps I ought to see my doctor. It's all very odd. Perhaps it's the weather.
No, it's psychological. Like the dinosaur, some drivers haven't adjusted themselves to changing conditions.
But I'm a very good driver. Passed my test first time, years ago.
Exactly.
But it's experience that counts. Look at these kids. Some of them can only just have left school.
Those kids, they know a thing or two. Take the new road signs, for instance. Do you know them? What's that? That. And that. Quickly now. There's no time for indecision when driving. Those kids know them. They learnt them before they passed the test. But don't despair. Pop into your nearest bookstall and get this. The new traffic signs. For the safety of you and your passengers. Keep up with the kids. You know what happened to the dinosaur, don't you? It became extinct.
I used to have a terrible time with my headlights. I found they gave a lot of trouble to people I overtook, and traffic and pedestrians coming towards me. Their effect was quite devastating. So I called in my Dr. Gus, the noted brain surgeon. He said there was nothing wrong with the adjustment, and then he gave me a switch that makes my lights more manageable. He calls it a dip switch. Now, when I go out at night, I'm no trouble to anyone. My friends who have cars tell me they have dip switches too.
Mention the word courtesy to most road users today, and they'll probably laugh. For instance, you get a nice, orderly queue of traffic. And there's always some road hog tries to jump it. It's enough to give you blood pressure. And when it comes to crossing on a busy corner, you can be there all day for all the traffic cares. First come, first served. And the devil take the hindmost. And yet, how nice it could be if people showed a little courtesy, a little more patience. A little more give and take.
After you.
No, after you. A little more consideration could make life so much easier. So please don't be rude on the road.
Right, so they are, folks. Don't be rude on the road. I mean, you know, do me a favour. I suppose in those days there wasn't any such thing as road rage. You know, we're all far too polite. If somebody throws a brick through your windscreen, you say, oh, I'm sorry, that's rather unsporting of you. But they're great films though, and thanks once again to Tony Dykes and Film Images, because they've allowed us to show these clips. There'll be a lot more of those clips in our series.